I've always been afraid of heights. Maybe that's why I used to have that same dream every night. You know the one. When you're running as fast as you can away from something or someone that you can't see. For me, each time the dream ended the same way. I'd arrive at the edge of some perilous ledge with no choice but to jump. And something about the feeling of falling would shake me awake. And I'd be alone again, in the dark. You may not remember me, but you saved my life. I know, you're probably wondering who I am. But I think it would be better if I start by describing who I was. I was always a little bit different, but you never would have known. I started off strong. And I was the first on the field, last to leave the track. I was calm on the court, and I was at the top of my class. But I kept a part of my heart hidden from sight. One day I started getting high, just once or twice. But I never thought it would start to weigh me down. I'd get up Sunday morning and put on my Sunday best, just like all the rest. I even sat beside you during the service, a few pews behind. You'd ask me how I was doing from time to time, and I'd tell you that I was fine. But I was lying. I was actually dying inside, begging God to free me from these secrets. But I couldn't stand the thought of being without Him for long. I was addicted. Now don't get me wrong, I was confused too. At some point I stopped dreaming altogether. I was never actually awake, but never fully asleep either. And each morning I would wake up wearing a few more links, carrying a few more cords, left over from the night before. But I felt naked without them. I was helpless, like I was burying myself alive. It's not like you didn't try to help, though. You'd find me a place to work, and I'd work at getting myself out. Each day I put on a different disguise. Driving home at 5 to live an invisible life. And I was too ashamed to tell you. So I left and never looked back. I was a train wreck, derailed from the tracks, starting fires and burning bridges. I was poisonous, creating more hurt and pain with every step I took. I think we both knew where I'd end up, but by then, I thought it was too late. I was hopeless. I walked the yellow line for a while, but my shame would chase me, nipping at my heels, never far behind. In the end, the only companions that I thought I could trust were the chains by my side. My addiction kept me consumed, and it kept me numb. I fell in love with my chains, but I hated who I'd become. I was a junkie. I was a bum. But beneath the facade, the smoke screens and the camouflage, my secret was still up my sleeve. I wasn't in charge of these chains anymore. They controlled me. When there was no one left to blame, I shut out the light, and I locked myself away in my own isolated cage. I couldn't stand the sight of my own eyes. I couldn't face my own reflection without adding more fuel to the fire. I was mad at the world, but I took it out on myself instead. The harder I fought, the weaker I became. The higher I got, the lower I felt. I knew that I was broken inside, so anything else that I could find, I made sure to break. Kicking and screaming, ranting and raving, crying and praying, until I finally hit the bottom. I was getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was lost, but I was ready to be found. That's where you come in. That's when you saved me. You told me about No Longer Bound. You supported them, and they supported me. They helped me get free. Of course, it wasn't easy. But then again, nothing this good ever could be. But everyone was waiting for me, even God Himself, leading me to the edge of some perilous ledge with no choice but to jump. So I jumped. And something about the feeling of falling shook me awake. Only this time, I wasn't alone. So who am I? I'm just another example of God's grace. I'm one more reason to help create change. I'm back on the right road and headed straight. I'm a newborn son and a brother again. But most of all, I'm a product of a powerful place. I am no longer bound.